Hey, what's up everybody? Swish here. Let's talk knives. Stick with me. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Swish Outdoors and Survival, and today I'm just going to talk about knives. I'm going to share with you pretty much all the knives that I have, and I have quite a bit of them here, and some I like, some I don't like, some I've tested, some I just have for fun, and just thought I'd show you, just kind of do a light video, not too serious, and just have some fun. And I'm going to start with my favorite knife out of all of them. I've done a video for this, and that is, of course, the Becker BK9, which is my all-time favorite knife. And out of all the knives I own, this I absolutely love. And it's a 9-inch blade, and I thought about getting a BK7, but I don't really think I need one because I'm a big guy, and this knife seems kind of small to me, actually. And this competes a lot with the S.O.S or Junglis or whatever. But I just keep coming back to this. It's a lot lighter. It's 1 inch shorter than the Junglis. I don't know. How do you guys pronounce it? If you guys have one, let me know. But this is my all-time favorite one. You can see just kind of for scale. I mean, here's my hand. I mean, it covers the whole blade. So it actually feels really small. And to me, it doesn't feel that big, and it can do pretty much any task. Fine carving, chopping. I don't baton with it anymore. What's the point? I have a tool for that. I mean, if I absolutely had to, I would, but I really don't see any need from that. I believe that the forest can provide for you wood that you don't need to get into. That's, even when it's raining, start off with really small twigs. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, I think this is just a great knife for, survival, bushcraft, whatever you want, but it is my all-time favorite knife. I love this knife, and I can't wait to get my sheath coming for it from Grizzly Outdoors. I'm excited for that really awesome Kydex sheath. I'll do a review of that sheath when it comes in, and I do have some micarta scales on it. Not sure if you can see that very well, but yeah, there it is, BK9. So I guess we'll go with the little brother that I got, the Becker BK2. And this, believe it or not, is actually the Temu BK2. It's the clone. It's not the real one. It's 20 bucks on Temu. I have not tested this blade out. It's actually not a 1/4 inch thick, this one. It's actually the same blade width as the BK9, 11/16 if I remember correctly. Not sure, but it looks pretty close. See, it's got the BK2 logo, and then on the other side, it's got the actual Becker logo, and so does the sheath. I don't know if you can see that there. There it is. But it looks almost identical, and the only thing is, if you can see real closely, the blade actually extends further out than the handle. So I'm going to take my grinder and probably grind the steel down to match and it does it on both sides. It's not too bad. It doesn't really annoy me. It doesn't feel too bad in the hand. It's actually pretty light. And oddly enough, my BK9 is lighter than this. I'm not sure if it's the same steel. The BK9 is 1095 Crovan. The original BK2 is Crovan, but since it's a knockoff, it could be like D2 or something. Again, I'm not sure, but modern Missouri Survival did a review of it, and it went through all the tests and did just fine. And actually, it was that video that caused me to get this, because I thought, well, if this is just as good, why not? But I think I'll probably stick with my BK9. This one's kind of like a smaller version of it, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's not bad, We'll see what happens. I'll take this out in the woods. If you guys want to see me do a video on this, let me know in the comments below. All right, moving right along, sticking with fixed blades, I suppose. So here's two that are awfully familiar. The first one, the Mora Garberg. I've had this for a few years now, and as you can see, I put it through some tests, some survival schools, and it's done okay. I'll be honest, this is actually, after using it, at first I really loved it, but I don't really care for it too much anymore. It's not becoming my favorite knife. It's still good. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it, but for some reason, I just don't use this as much as I did. I've done a video where I was having fun with it one time in my yard, and yeah, I don't know why. It just doesn't appeal to me that much anymore. I don't know if it's the Scandi grind or what, but I mean, it has its place, don't get me wrong. And like I said, I put it through survival schools and done really well, you know. Oh, one thing I want to talk about. These have sharp spines on them. My BK9 and BK2 have sharp spines on them. And I know everyone likes to strike a ferro rod, and everybody thinks that, I'm just going to talk about this real quick while I'm here because it just came to me, and I don't script my videos. Everybody talks about if a knife can't scrape a ferro rod, it's not a good knife. And you might disagree with me, that's fine, but I don't think so. I mean, a knife was never ultimately meant to do so. That's why most ferro rods come with a striker. I use the striker. You're talking thousands of degrees on this steel, and over time, a buddy of mine told me a story about how he had a guy who only used his knife. And especially when you do it like this, and eventually it broke because over time, I don't know how if he was overusing it, but he said it actually affected the heat treat of the knife because you have so much heat on those ferro rods. I don't know how true that is. I believe him. I don't see why he would lie to me. But, you know, if it comes with a striker, I mean, I've started many fires with a striker in my ferro rod and have had no problem. If I ultimately had to with the spine of my knife, I would. I know I've done videos in the past where I've done it, but I've kind of since changed my stance and just figure if there's a striker, might as well just use the striker and use the knife for what it's for, which is to cut with. You know, a knife is a cutting tool, and the sharp spine is cool for making fine tinder and stuff like that. I'll use it for that if I need to, but you know, again, a knife is a cutting tool, and I just don't agree with everyone thinking this idea that a knife, for it to be a good survival knife, it must be able to start a fire. And I suppose in an emergency, but I will always fall back on the Bic lighter. You know, I know everyone says that when a lighter gets wet, you know, it's ineffective, but you can rescue it, but you can dry out a Bic lighter. If you remove the child safety, you can blow on it and it'll light right up. I mean, no problem, you know. So even if it gets wet, if it gets cold, just keep it in your pocket to your body heat. It'll light up. I always carry that with me. But, you know, if something happened, I lost it, and I had a ferro rod or something, yeah, cool. But, you know, a knife is a cutting tool. That's its primary use, and that's what I'll always use it for. So not my favorite anymore, but still a decent knife. But what is my favorite for smaller fixed blades is its, again, cousin, brother, whatever you want to call it, the Mora Companion. I've done a review of this knife. You guys have seen it. I absolutely do love this knife next to my BK9. It's a great smaller knife. It's a rat tail tang, but in my opinion, I think it could do every single task the Garberg can do. It's much cheaper. I could buy 3 of these for the price of the Garberg. So, and I actually like the grip better than the Garberg. It's a rubber grip, and it's got this great lip here to, you know, stop you. The Garberg is a little bit more plastic. You know, this one has this kind of rubber feel, so it really sticks good in your hand, and I really like that. It's good. You can skin an animal with this. You can just do all kinds of stuff with it, and it is this and the BK9 are my 2 favorite knives. And if I had to take 2 blades with me out, if I was given the choice of 2, it would be this and the BK9. But yeah, I really like this knife. I like the sheath. It can go as a neck knife if you really wanted to. It can go on your belt, and it's got this. It can actually go on, like if you have a button, you can secure it. This is just such a great one. This is the carbon one. But yeah, I really love this knife. Good knife. Mora Companion. Okay, so what other fixed blades do I got? Okay, this one is a knife that I have had for, gosh, 20 years now, and I barely used it. I bought it at Fort Campbell at, I think, Clothing and Sales. They actually had it or something. And it is a Smith & Wesson little boot knife. It's the HRT boot knife. And it's just a cool little knife. I've never really used it for anything. It's more of a self-defense weapon. Having a knife for self-defense would be pretty much a last resort. I would never really pull out a knife, because if you pull out a knife, you're probably going to get cut, even if you pull the knife out. But it's a cool little weapon. It's light, you know. Don't know what I can employ this for yet. I've had it for so long, and as you can see, I mean, for 20 years, it's in good condition. So I really haven't used it much. I've just kept it. And I just really like it. I just like the way it looks. It's just a cool looking knife. So, all right. Okay, here's some good ones I like. Some Gil Hibben throwing knives. I'll just pull one out. It's a cool little thrower. I like to throw knives. Haven't done it in a while, but I got these in Afghanistan in 2010. I ordered them from, I think, Bud K. And this is actually a good one. I've thrown these multiple times, and they're pretty good. I think they're just stainless steel, but they're just fun to throw. Just for fun, you know, throw. You know, it's not all about serious, you know, don't have to be serious about everything, but it's a pretty cool little blade. And I've got 3 of them in this cool little sheath, but it's fun to do. I really like these knives to throw. So, all right, we're going to switch to folders, and I have a few here. You've seen a couple of these in some videos. This is a buck knife. I forget the name of this one. Someone mentioned it in one of the videos, but I've been carrying this for a while in my pocket. I really like it. It's pretty light, and it's just good for cutting a box open, cutting plastic open, cutting an Amazon box open, you know, cutting an MRE open. Whatever. It's just a good little everyday carry knife. I'm sorry guys, I hate the term EDC because I think it's just so overplayed, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, not a bad little knife. It's got a stonewashed style blade, and I don't know what the steel is, and it's got a hollow grind. Buck knives have hollow grind. I don't know why people are kind of shy away from hollow grind knives. I like them. I think they're okay. But this is a pretty cool little knife. Carrying it around, and what I switch out for when I get bored carrying that one is this little guy. This I have had for I don't know how long, and as you can see, I mean it's tiny. You know, it's made by a company called Sheffield. I think they're can't focus very well. I think they're a British company. Tom, if you ever see this video, let me know if this company is still in. I bought this at Walmart in like 2007 maybe, and I've had it ever since, and it has just I have put this thing through so much. I even taken the blade and struck a ferro rod with it one time and was able to resharpen it, and this thing is actually pretty cool, and it has just been through so much crap, and it is still going, and it looks pretty new. I mean, I don't know if you can see the dings up close because I've had it for so long, but yeah, maybe not. But it carries in your pocket really little, and it's actually a good little fidget knife too, because I can just fidget with it one hand. You know, if I'm ever just bored, I'll take this out and just do this over and over and over again. I absolutely just a good little pocket knife. So these two are more multi-tools, but I love SAK's Swiss Army knives, Victorinox. I'm going to start with the bigger one, the Ranger Grip. Absolutely love this one. I have the one with the corkscrew on it, and I like the blade because it locks in with this little push button, and it's a pretty decent sized blade, and it's super sharp. It'll shave your hair off, and I've made tent steaks with this, all kinds of stuff. Just had a good time with it. The saw is humongous. I think you've seen when I did the video Firecraft with my son. My son was using this saw to cut down a sapling with it, and this saw is great. It just keeps going and going and going, so it's really good. And it's pretty big. It's got the awl in the back, the corkscrew, and it's got your standard typical bottle opener and can opener. You know, your yeah, right here, tweezers, toothpick. But this is a fun little knife to have, carry in your pocket, and it's pretty big. And this one, again, is its smaller version. I can't remember the title of this one, but it has the Phillips head on this one, and it's obviously it's much smaller, and it's got a decent sized blade on it. It doesn't lock in place, but that's okay. You know, it's got a little smaller blade on it for other things, but one thing I really like about this is the pair of scissors on it. And they work really well. It has a smaller saw on it that is actually still pretty good. Can cut down very small saplings very well. And again, your standard bottle can opener. The awl is on the back. It's got the toothpick. It's got the tweezers, and so a little cool knife that I kept in my pocket for a long time. You can even, there's a little ring on it. You can even, if you really wanted to, put it on a keychain, if you know, because it's pretty light, but it's very durable. Had this thing for years, never failed me. So yeah, those are pretty much all my knives. And just kind of a quick little video. Well, actually not too quick. I'm going on 16 freaking minutes here. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just wanted to show you what I carry, and tell me what your favorite knives are in the comments. And we'll catch you on the next one. Swish out.